Welcome to Stonewatch. Today we're talking about Amazon Studios' The Tomorrow War. If you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button and click on that bell so you can get notified for future videos. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And yes, I watched Amazon Studios' The Tomorrow War starring Chris Pratt the other day, and I gotta say, it was actually pretty damn good. Now, it was pretty much what I was expecting after watching the trailer, so I wasn't really shocked in how it was going to go, but it was pretty much what I thought it was going to be. I thought Chris Pratt did a pretty damn good job. J.K. Simmons was awesome as usual, and man, that guy is jacked for his age. I have to say that I'm jealous and ashamed at the same time, you know what I mean? Now, I thought it was pretty cool to see Yvonne Strahovski again. Now, I mainly know her from the Chuck show that was on NBC back in 2007 to 2012, where she co-starred with Shazam Zachary Levi. I mean, I love that show, man. I'd watch that show every single week, even though like the concept of it was kind of like, really? I mean, but I love the show. I thought the action was pretty cool. I thought the drama was pretty damn cool. And then I thought she was pretty damn hot too. Now, she's been really busy doing other stuff as of recently. I just haven't really watched any of it because it's not really what I'm into. Like, she's in The Handmaid's Tale. She was in the 2018's The Predator. I kind of fell off the Predator movie series like a long time ago, probably after the second one with Danny Glover. And she also did a couple of seasons of Dexter also. Now, there's another show I never really got into because it was always on Showtime, and I didn't have Showtime at the time, so I haven't really gotten around to watching any of it, but I did notice in the research for this video that it is available on Amazon Prime, so maybe I'll have to go check those out because I heard nothing but good things about that series. The Tomorrow War is a 2021 American military science fiction action film directed by Chris McKay, making his live-action directorial debut. It was produced by David Ellison, Dana Goldberg, Don Granger, David S. Goyer, Jules Daly, and Adam Hobrenner, just to name a few, right? And it was written by Zach Dean. Originally set for theatrical release by Paramount Pictures, the film's distribution rights were then acquired by Amazon Studios due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, who then digitally released it on July 2nd of 2021 on Amazon Prime Video. The film received mixed reviews from the critics with praise for concept, action, and performances, but criticism aimed towards its derivative execution. The film stars Chris Pratt, who also received an executive producer credit on this one, Yvonne Strahovski, J.K. Simmons, Betty Gilpin, Edwin Hodge, and Sam Richardson. Now, as far as I'm concerned, other than Chris Pratt, this guy had the best one-liners in the whole entire movie. Almost every single time this guy delivered a line, and made me chuckle and stuff like that, and I was so glad that he actually survived to the end of the movie. I was so glad he didn't get killed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of all the people that they had fighting this Tomorrow War, because not every single one of them that they were sending over there were soldiers, I was so glad he actually made it. You know what I'm saying? Now, the basic plot of the movies is this. It's December 2022. A biology teacher, former Green Beret Dan Foster, played by Chris Pratt, fails to get a job at a prestige research center. While he is watching the World Cup game at a Christmas party, soldiers from the year of 2051 arrive to warn that humanity is on the brink of extinction due to alien invaders, the White Spikes. In response, members of the world's military are sent into the future, but fewer than 20% survive, prompting a worldwide draft. After a year of the draft and growing anti-world movement, there is little hope for humanity's survival. Dan receives notice that he has been drafted and reports with other draftees to basic training. Dan deduces with fellow draftee Charlie that in order to prevent a paradox, those drafted have already died before the war starts. Now, I thought this was pretty interesting. It was like it gave like a little bit of a twist, because when Chris Pratt's character like puts his arm in that thing, they realized that he was going to die within 7 years anyway. Kind of makes you wonder what it was going to be, but then you find out later on in the movie what that actually was, right? And then like there was the other character that was played by Edwin Hodge. His character, like, I guess was told that he had cancer and he only had 6 months to live, so he figured, what the hell, what do I got to lose? So when we meet him in this movie, he's already on his third time going into the future to fight the aliens. So I mean, he figures, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out my way. Since this movie was originally supposed to be released in the theaters, I have to say 15 or 2, I've been willing to pay a matinee for this movie, at least matinee, mainly because I'm cheap. I'm kind of glad I didn't have to be quite honest, but I mean, there was a few parts in this movie that would have been cool on the big screen, but I'm kind of glad I actually, no, either way, I'm glad I got to see this movie, but I've been willing to pay a matinee. Currently, this movie is sitting at a Rotten Tomatoes score of 52% and an audience score of 80%, which means that the critics didn't like this movie, but the audience is loving it, which I could see that. If you really wanted to, you could probably nitpick the hell out of this movie, but it had a budget of $200 million, and I didn't really think that they really scrimped on the effects for this movie. I thought they were pretty damn good. Now, there were a couple points in this movie where the CGI kind of looked kind of video game-ish to me a little bit, but it didn't take me out of it. I just looked at it and going, well, that's how they were going to actually be able to do that scene, right? Because you could tell some of the stuff that was practical and some of the stuff that was CGI, at least I thought I could. Maybe once I see the behind the scene thing for this movie, it probably changed my whole entire perspective. Go, oh my God, that wasn't real. You know what I mean? That happens all the damn time with movies, especially with me, name of the show. But anyway, I thought it was actually pretty damn good. It wasn't like the world's best movie I ever saw, but I thought it was actually a pretty damn good movie. Now, I don't know if they'll ever make a sequel to this movie, even though I think they kind of left it open-ended that they could if they really wanted to. But then again, if you want to make a sequel to anything, you can. It's all the matter of where there's a will, there's a way. But since this movie wasn't actually released theatrically, you don't have like ticket sales that say, okay, it had a budget of $200 million, but it made $800 million at the box office. So I think it should get a sequel. We don't have that comparison. It was on Amazon Prime. I can't really see a whole bunch of people going to subscribe to Amazon Prime just to see this movie. No offense, Chris. You're a good actor, man, but you know what I'm saying? But if they did make a sequel to this movie, I would want to know more about the pilots that was carrying them on the spaceship up there in the snow. I want to know, why were they carrying them? What was the intended purpose to be having these creatures on your ship? What were you going to do with them, right? At least maybe it's just me. That was where my mind was going when I saw this part. I'm going, oh man, why do they got these things? I don't know. I just have to wait and see how that all plays out. So did you watch Amazon Studios' The Tomorrow War starring Chris Pratt? Let me know in the comments down below. What did you think about this movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Where does this movie rank with you with other humans versus aliens invasion movies? Let me know in the comments down below. It was a fun movie. It's not the world's best movie, but it's worth the watch. Saturday, Sunday afternoon movie as far as I'm concerned. And if you already have a subscription to Amazon Prime, what do you got to lose? Other than about 2.5 hours of time, right? Let me know what you think in the comments down below.